Picture this scenario. Your alarm goes off, 6:30 in the morning. You open your eyes, and you're already exhausted. You haven't even gotten out of bed yet, but you already know exactly how this morning will go. You'll drag yourself to the kitchen. You'll stand in front of the refrigerator staring at food you're too tired to cook. You'll think about making eggs. Too much work. Oatmeal? That requires standing at the stove stirring. Toast? That's not real food. So you'll skip breakfast. Again. You'll tell yourself you're not hungry anyway. But by 10 a.m., you're dizzy. By 11, your hands are shaking. By noon, you have no energy to do anything. And by dinner, you're so hungry you overeat and feel terrible. Sound familiar? Here's what most people don't realize. The problem isn't that you're lazy. The problem isn't that you don't care about your health. The problem is that traditional breakfasts require energy you simply don't have in the morning. But what if I told you there are 4 breakfasts you can make in under 10 minutes that require almost no energy, no standing at the stove, no complicated cooking? Most of the work happens the night before when you still have energy to think. This isn't about becoming a morning person. This is about becoming someone who eats breakfast without exhausting yourself first. Now, if you struggle with breakfast every single morning, here's what you need to understand. You're not weak. You're not unmotivated. You're not failing at something everyone else finds easy. Mornings are genuinely harder as you get older. Your body takes longer to wake up. Your medications might make you drowsy. You might have slept poorly because of pain or bathroom trips. Your blood sugar is low after fasting all night, which makes you feel even more tired. This is the reality for millions of people over 60. Every morning feels like climbing a mountain before you've even had coffee. And the idea of cooking a proper breakfast? That mountain just got twice as high. But here's where things get interesting. You don't actually need more energy to make breakfast. You need breakfast designed for people with low energy. Breakfasts where the hard work happens when you're alert, so the morning work is almost automatic. The transformation isn't about forcing yourself to cook when you're exhausted. It's about preparing when you have energy so you can eat when you don't. Today, you're not just learning 4 breakfast recipes. You're becoming someone who starts every single day with fuel in your body, not with struggle and skipped meals. Let me show you the first breakfast, and I want you to notice something important about how this works. Overnight oats. Now, before you say you've heard of this before, let me show you why this is different. Here's what you do tonight. Tonight, when you still have some energy, when your brain is still working, you take a jar, any jar with a lid. You put in half a cup of rolled oats, not instant oats, rolled oats. You add half a cup of milk, regular milk, almond milk, doesn't matter. You add a spoonful of yogurt if you want it thicker. You add whatever flavoring you like, cinnamon, vanilla, a tiny bit of honey, whatever. You stir it for 10 seconds. You put the lid on. You put it in the refrigerator. That's it. 30 seconds of work. Tomorrow morning, you open the refrigerator. You take out the jar. You eat it cold, straight from the jar. Or if you want it warm, 20 seconds in the microwave. You don't cook anything. You don't measure anything. You don't make any decisions. You just eat. Here's why this works for low-energy mornings. The oats soften overnight in the liquid. By morning, they're already cooked by time, not by you standing at a stove stirring. You're not making breakfast in the morning. You're eating breakfast someone else made. And that someone else was you, yesterday, when you had energy. This isn't just a recipe. This is a strategy. Do the thinking when you can think. Do the work when you have energy. Leave nothing for your exhausted morning self except opening a jar and eating. 3 variations so you don't get bored. Apple cinnamon, add diced apple and cinnamon. Chocolate banana, add cocoa powder and sliced banana. Berry vanilla, add frozen berries and vanilla extract. All of these you prepare at night. All of these you eat in the morning without cooking.
Breakfast number 2. Greek yogurt power bowl. Here's the secret most people miss. The problem with yogurt isn't yogurt. The problem is standing in the kitchen every morning deciding what to put on top of the yogurt. Your tired brain can't make decisions, so you skip it. But what if you didn't have to decide anything in the morning? What if all the decisions happened on Sunday when you have energy? Here's what you do once a week. You buy Greek yogurt. You buy toppings, granola, nuts, seeds, fresh or frozen berries. You take 5 small containers or bags and you portion out the toppings ahead of time. Container 1 gets granola and almonds. Container 2 gets walnuts and dried cranberries. Container 3 gets pumpkin seeds and blueberries. You make 5 different combinations. Takes you 10 minutes on Sunday. Now, every morning, you open the refrigerator. You scoop yogurt into a bowl. You dump 1 pre-portioned container of toppings on top. You eat. Total morning work, 30 seconds. Why this works for low energy? Your morning brain doesn't decide anything. Your Sunday brain already decided. Your morning body doesn't measure anything. Your Sunday hands already measured. You're not cooking. You're not thinking. You're just assembling something that's already prepared. This is what I mean by becoming someone who prepares breakfast when they have energy. You're not relying on morning willpower. You're relying on Sunday preparation. And here's what happens. Week 1, you make 5 yogurt topping containers. By Friday, you've eaten breakfast 5 days in a row without skipping once. That's probably more breakfast than you ate all last month. Breakfast number 3, protein toast combinations. Now, I know what you're thinking. Toast isn't real breakfast. Toast is what you eat when you've given up. But here's what changes everything. The right things on toast turn it into a meal that keeps you full for hours. 3 combinations. Each one takes 2 minutes. Each one has protein, so you're not hungry an hour later. Combination 1, toast with peanut butter and banana. You toast the bread, you spread peanut butter while it's still warm so it melts slightly. You slice a banana on top. That's it. The peanut butter has protein and healthy fat, the banana has natural sugar for energy. Together, they keep your blood sugar stable for hours. Combination 2, toast with cottage cheese and tomato. You toast the bread, you spread cottage cheese on top, you slice a tomato, you add a tiny bit of salt and pepper if you want. The cottage cheese has more protein than an egg. The tomato adds vitamins and flavor. This tastes fresh, not heavy. Combination 3, toast with scrambled egg and avocado. Now yes, this one requires cooking an egg, but here's the trick. You scramble 1 egg in the microwave, crack it into a mug, stir it with a fork, microwave for 45 seconds, stir again. That's your scrambled egg. No pan to wash. Mash a little avocado on your toast, put the microwaved egg on top. 2 minutes total. Why this works? You're not standing at the stove. You're not using multiple pans. You're not making decisions about what to cook. You have 3 simple combinations memorized. Your tired morning brain just picks one. When you prepare these, you're not cooking breakfast. You're assembling breakfast from parts that are already ready, and that makes all the difference when you're exhausted. Breakfast number 4, no-cook smoothie freezer packs.
This one is brilliant for mornings when you can't even chew, when you're so tired that eating solid food feels like too much work. Here's what you do on Sunday. You take 5 small freezer bags. In each bag, you put frozen fruit, frozen berries, frozen mango, frozen banana slices. You add a handful of spinach if you want vegetables. You add a scoop of protein powder if you have it. You seal the bags. You put them in the freezer. Every morning, you take out 1 bag. You dump it in the blender. You add milk or a juice or water. You blend for 30 seconds. You pour it in a glass. You drink. Total morning work, 45 seconds. No chopping, no measuring, no thinking. Just dump and blend. Why this works for low energy? Frozen fruit is already cut. Protein powder is already portioned. The bag is already packed. Your morning self does almost nothing except push a button. And here's what nobody tells you about smoothies. When you're too tired to eat, drinking is easier. Your body still gets nutrients. Your blood sugar still stabilizes. You still have energy for the rest of the morning. You didn't skip breakfast just because chewing felt like too much work. Notice what just happened here. You didn't learn 4 recipes. You learned a system. Every single one of these breakfasts has the same pattern. Prepare when you have energy, eat when you don't. Do the thinking on Sunday. Do the eating on Monday morning. This isn't about cooking breakfast. It's about designing your life so that breakfast happens even when you're exhausted. You're not becoming a chef. You're becoming someone who takes care of themselves even on low energy mornings. Someone who doesn't skip meals just because they're tired. Someone who starts the day with fuel, not with hunger and dizziness. The difference between people who eat breakfast every day and people who skip breakfast isn't willpower. It's not discipline. It's preparation. It's doing future you a favor when present you has energy to give. Let me tell you about Margaret, 71 years old. She used to skip breakfast 5 days a week, not because she wasn't hungry, but because by the time she got to the kitchen, she was already too tired to cook. She'd stand in front of the refrigerator. She'd stare at the eggs. She'd think about the pan she'd have to wash. She'd close the refrigerator and skip breakfast. By lunch, she'd feel awful. Then she watched a video like this. She tried overnight oats. Just once. She made it Sunday night. Monday morning, she opened the jar and ate it. And for the first time in months, she ate breakfast without exhausting herself first. She didn't become a morning person. She didn't suddenly have more energy. She just prepared breakfast when she had energy so she could eat it when she didn't. Now, 6 months later, she eats breakfast 6 days a week. She cycles through all 4 of these options, and she says the biggest change isn't that she eats breakfast. It's that she doesn't feel guilty anymore for being too tired to cook. She's not failing at breakfast. She's succeeding at preparation. So here's what I need you to do today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. 1. Pick 1 breakfast from this video. Just 1. The one that sounds easiest. 2. Prepare it tonight before you go to bed. Set everything up so tomorrow morning requires almost no work.
3. Eat it tomorrow morning and notice how different you feel. Notice that you ate breakfast without exhausting yourself. Notice that you have energy at 10 a.m. instead of dizziness. Write in the comments which breakfast you tried. How did it feel to eat breakfast without cooking in the morning? Share this video with anyone who says, "I'm too tired to make breakfast." One video might change how they start every single day. Remember, you're not learning recipes. You're becoming someone who prepares when they have energy so they can eat when they don't. And that's who you are now.